And here we have our first class flown rainbow trout. The fish got flown in first class from Scotland, and I can't have a ticket? Just sitting next to anyone famous? My name is Paul Donnelly, and I'm the executive chef at Chinese Tuxedo and the Tyger in New York City. Lately, there has been a lot of interest in my country, Scotland, due to popular shows Outlander and Men in Kilts. In Men in Kilts, Sam and Graham go on an epic road trip together around Scotland. Today, I'm here to take you on a culinary road trip of my Scotland and to dispel some truths and myths about Scotsmen along the way. Today, we are cooking the most wonderful locative rainbow trout with colcannon, smoked bacon, and a silky mustard dressing. So we're going to start by filleting our locative rainbow trout. Try to keep your knife in line with this and fillet from the tail to the head, under through the belly, and slice that off just like that. Make sure that you remove all of the small pin bones. You can pick up some of these fish tweezers at any respectable fishmonger or knife store, really.
Can you use regular tweezers?
Is that actually So we're going to get started on one of the main elements of our dish. These are the caramelized miso onions. Miso, definitely not Scottish, but I thought it'd be very fun and playful to kind of a mishmash, a little bit of different cultures within the dish. So whilst we're waiting on our onions to cook down, we're going to start the mustard dressing. About a half cup of sherry vinegar, about a teaspoon of Dijon mustard, some canola oil, some walnut oil. We want to bring everything together by emulsifying it with an egg yolk. So a good way to determine when your miso caramelized onions are ready is they'll actually become quite sticky and quite jammy. And at this stage, we're ready to add the miso, the brown sugar, and the butter. For the colcannon, we're going to use 4 Yukon Gold potatoes. So you really want to start off with cold water. This will help to tenderize the potatoes a little bit better. There's nothing worse than having starchy potatoes, which are caused by putting raw potatoes into hot water. We're going to get started on the second part of the colcannon, sauteed thinly sliced Savoy cabbage with the most wonderful smoked speck. There's been wars over the years about colcannon. Is it Scottish? Is it Irish? I can tell you that I'm doing it today. It's a Scottish dish, all right? So unfortunately this time around, I wasn't able to fly to Scotland. I'd be taking you guys to some of my favourite spots. The Highlands, maybe we stop off at Otter Ferry and sit by the water and have some freshly shucked oysters, some poached langoustines with fresh Mary Rose sauce, or maybe we just keep it simple and go for fish and chips. I was working at a restaurant in Glasgow. The chef there at the time found that this technique was the best way, and I'll tell you what, he wasn't lying because it's the way I peel potatoes all the time now. If I had been sent to Scotland, this would be something that I would cook for the boys with a dram of whiskey. Definitely a belly warmer, that's for sure. So guys, the grand finale. We're about to cook the locative rainbow trout. Skin side down. Whilst we're waiting on the fish to cook, we're going to plate up the remainder of the ingredients. Just remember, we're on a road trip. Don't be stingy with the portions. Rainbow trout, flown in fresh from Locative in Scotland. The beautiful mustard and sherry vinaigrette from the bonny banks of Scotland, some fresh tarragon. And there you have it, a modern take on a traditional Scottish dish. So guys, now we've made it to dessert, and I'm proud to present to you my interpretation of the cranachan. Traditionally using shortbread, my interpretation, however, has called for meringue, raspberry custard, raspberry jam, Sassenach marinated raspberries, and some of these gorgeous milk crumbs. So over the years, there's been many assumptions about Scottish men. Do we have devastating accents?
Scotland.
Very true. Are we excelled in storytelling? Absolutely. And do all Scotsmen really always wear kilts? No, we don't. That's not true. Not always. So let's bring this all together. This is the beautiful rainbow trout. And this is the delicious cranachan. I was unable to fly to Scotland to enjoy the road trip. Since I couldn't make it there, check out Men in Kilts, because Sam and Graham did a pretty good job.
Here's to Scotland.
Slanja. Wow, that's really nice. And that is another reason why I'm a proud Scotsman.